everyone, I'm Dea Safitri. So today I'm going to talk about influences argument. What is argument? Argumentation is the process of persuading others through reasoning and logic. Its purpose is to influence and create conviction by providing some reasons. Argumentation is not just about sharing an opinion, but about giving logical, clear, and straightforward reason so your opinion can be accepted. A good argument convinces others and helps us influence the audience. It will be easy to understand and not confusing. For example, if we say education is important, we need to explain why education is important with clear and reasonable arguments. This is what makes argumentation not only effective but also credible. Next is two aspects of argumentation. Now, let's look at two main aspects of argumentation. First is building an argument, which means making your argument strong so it can easily be argued against. Second, tearing down an argument, which means finding weakness in your opponent's argument and logically arguing against. This is important because in debate we need to both strengthen our argument and break down our opponent's arguments. Next is testing an argument. When evaluating an argument, we need to break it down into three main parts. The first is question under discussion. This is the main topic or issue being argued. The question must be clear and debatable. The second is evidence. Evidence is the foundation of any argument. It must be strong, reliable, and relevant. The third is reasoning. Reasoning connects the evidence to the question. It must be logical and consistent. By ensuring that the question is clear, the evidence is strong, and the reasoning is logical, we can test whether an argument is valid and persuasive. This approach makes our arguments more convincing and help us identify weakness in the argument of others. The next is testing an evidence. The first is witnesses. Evaluate their credibility, knowledge, and impartiality. The second is authorities. Check if the authority is well recognized and unbiased. The third is fact. Assess whether facts are sufficient, relevant, and aligned with logic. The last is principle. Verify if principles are used as evidence are generally accepted through truth or experimental conclusion. Next is logical reasoning. Logical reasoning is the thinking process that helps us draw correct conclusions. There are different types of reasoning often used in argumentation. The first is induction, using specific facts to make general conclusions. For example, all the people I met in this city are friendly, so I think everyone in this city is friendly. The second is deduction, using known principle to draw conclusions. For example, all humans die is principle. I am human, so I will die. The third is parallel cases, comparing similar situations to make conclusion. For example, if this car can go fast, then another similar car should be able to do the same. The last is syllogism, a logical structure of premises leading to a conclusion. Next is common logical fallacies. The first is non sequitur, when the conclusion does not logically follow from the premises. The second is Begging the question, when the argument assumes what it is trying to prove. The third is rejection and absurdum, demonstrating that an argument leads to an absurd conclusion. So, the next is practical application. After understanding the basic of argumentation, the next step is to practice it in daily life. We can connect this through two main activities. The first one is criticizing arguments. When we hear someone's argument, we need to analyze if it is supported by strong evidence and logical reasoning. For example, if someone says people who don't eat breakfast are not productive, we can ask, what's the evidence? Is there research to support this? Criticizing doesn't mean attacking. It means finding weakness or logical mistakes in the argument to make the discussion more objective. The second one is exercise. The best way to improve argumentation is through practice. We can start with analyzing arguments we see in the media like news and are their argument logical? Debating casually with friends about light topic to practice presenting opinion. Creating our own arguments and asking others to critique them. By criticizing arguments and practice regularly, we will become better at building and presenting strong opinion. This also helps us avoid logical mistakes and improves our confidence in speaking. The last one is debate preparation. Affirmative versus negative argument. Creating arguments for and against a proposition. The last is debate summary. Organizing arguments in a clear structure to support either the affirmative or negative side. So for the conclusion, argumentation is the art of speaking using logic, evidence, and reason to convince others. To become an effective public speaker, we need to build strong arguments. Make sure your argument is supported by credible evidence, enough facts, and logical reasoning. Find weakness in the opponent arguments. Analyze their evidence or logic and counter it with better argument. Avoid logical mistakes. Mistakes like non-sequitur or begging the question can weaken your argument. Practice and prepare. Learn from debates, critique arguments, and use different types of reasoning like induction, deduction, and parallel cases. By understanding and applying this principle, we can speak more confidently, explain ideas clearly, and influence the audience effectively. A good argument is a mix of logic, evidence, and clear delivery. I think that's all from me. Thank you.